Welcome back to the Hamilton Public Library. This is Linda, and today we'll be learning the art of decoupage. So here I have a terracotta pot that I have painted white. I also have a glass jar that I've used in previous projects for mini lanterns. And I have a wood canvas that I picked up at the dollar store. It's a box. It looks like a box, so I thought I'd cover it with a nice pattern, and you could use it as a pretty box for trinkets or mail or something like that. So I'll demonstrate first on the wood box. I'm just adding here a thin layer of Mod Podge matte. That is the medium I am using today. I like this one because it is also has a sealant in it, so you don't have to use a separate product. And then I'm going to take my napkin. I found one here with a lovely design, and I'm just going to stick it to the box. Once you have it flattened out and without any bubbles or wrinkles, you can then add another layer of the Mod Podge, and this will seal it onto the box. You want to make sure you just add a thin layer slowly. You can always build it up, but you don't want to add too much because it could make the napkin kind of soggy and tear. So just go slowly, add a little bit at a time, enough to make the item stick. And you can see here that sometimes, it catches and your design moves, so you just have to add a bit more to make sure it stays in place. So this is the box, and I would use more strips of this pattern just to complete it. So you can see I have the napkin here, and you can complete it all the way around, and that way you have a pretty box for your items. Here's the glass jar. Like I said, I've used this one in projects before, but you can use it to add pretty petals in this case. So I've cut out of the napkin petals of a flower. And I should mention, you only want to use the one layer of the napkin, the layer with the design. So you're going to peel your napkins apart if they're more than one layer. And I'm going to add some Mod Podge to the jar. And then I'm going to add the petal. Make sure again that you stick it on without any wrinkles or bubbles. So slowly kind of pat it in place. And then you're going to use some more of the Mod Podge to seal it on. And so you typically need at least 24 hours for this to dry nicely. And right now it looks like all you see is white glue on your jar, but that will dry clear, so you won't see any of the white once it is dry. So we're going to put this one aside, and the next thing I'm going to show you is the terracotta pot. So this will be our project for today. I have painted it white, just one layer, one coat. I wanted parts of the terracotta to kind of peek through. And I've already added a butterfly to the pot. So we're going to finish it up with some pretty flowers. And you can see here that I've cut a bunch of them up. So this is the napkin that I used for the jar. And I'm just going to show you how it peels apart. So you're going to use the side with the flower, and you're going to cut out the parts that you want to use in your project. So I've already pre-cut a bunch of flowers and leaves for the terracotta pot. And you're going to add a small amount again of the medium onto your pot. So I painted the pot white and let it dry for 24 hours before I started adding other items to it. So now here you can see I'm smoothing out the flower just like I did on the box and the glass jar. So you just want to smooth it out, make sure there's no wrinkles or bubbles. And then you're going to add more Mod Podge to the top to make sure it stays in place. Okay, then you're gonna add a bit more to another spot to add another flower. And again, you're going to add a bit of Mod Podge to the pot so that your napkin will stick to it. And make sure you smooth out all the wrinkles and all the bubbles. And then you're going to add a bit more on top. And I'm using a sponge brush, which I find works really well with this project, but you can use any kind of paintbrush that you have on hand. I just find that it smooths things out really nicely. And you can also overlap your pieces, so you don't have to make sure that they're all separated. You can overlap them slightly. It actually makes it look a little more natural. So you can see here again, I'm going to add the Mod Podge. I'm going to add my design, and I've put on a bit too much, so you can always remove some. But anyway, you're going to add your design, and then you're going to add the Mod Podge on top, and you're going to continue this until your project is done. So in the case of the Terra Cotta pot, I'm going to go all the way around, including the top part where there's the lip. And you just want to make sure when you're doing the part where there's a little bit of division, you just smooth the flower into that groove and add the Mod Podge, and it'll be fine. Okay, so we're just going to continue on adding flowers and leaves to this, and then I'll show you the finished product. We're back with the finished product. So it's been a couple of days. I've let the Mod Podge dry. So you can see the wooden box here. It is nice and clear. You don't see any of the white. Same with the glass jar. You don't see any of the white glue type material left on it. And here is a terracotta pot. So I've completely covered it in flowers and leaves. You can see that a little bit of the terracotta is peeking through still, so you don't want it too white. That's why we did only the one coat. And by doing it white, you can see that the napkin edges just blend in. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you check out some of my other videos on this channel. Thank you.